Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son.
Hi.
And this is a very hot week of WWE. This is Raw. You know, like we say, it's very hot here in the UK today, isn't it? But we're persevering. We look like two drowned rats, but we shall bring the Raw reunion review. Raw 22nd of the 7th, 2019, started off with John Cena coming out. He made his return. He came down to a bit of a promo saying about how he was home. That then proceeded to have the Usos come out and do a bit of a rap battle with him, or he did more of the one-sided rap battle than what the Usos did. Then they proceeded to bring out the Usos' father, Rikishi. He was about to do a dance-off for then the Revival to come out with Devon Dudley. And then the Usos and the Revival had a match, didn't they? It looked like...
And Cena walked away.
Yeah, Cena did walk away, that's right. It looked like Devon was going to interfere in the match. Rikishi and him sort of squared up. They have a stare down. And then the Usos got the win with the splash. After that, we had our first of many of 24/7 sequences. They showed like R-Truth with an interview. They showed a Comic-Con video where two people, a Hurricane and Drake Maverick, were trying to pin him. Only for them, Renee, Drake Maverick's wife, to cause a distraction to R-Truth. Drake Maverick got the roll up and then he ran away. So it looks like she's maybe helping him a little bit now. And obviously that's the main gist of the story, is that she's not very happy about him pursuing that belt. Next we had what was going to be Drew McIntyre versus Cedric Alexander. Obviously them two are having a bit of a feud going on. Drake Maverick attacked Alexander before the match, so it didn't really get going. And then he done an Alabama Slam, a backwards Alabama Slam to the ring, which looked quite impressive to me. Next 24/7 sequence, Drake Maverick was looking to leave. He opened his bag and there were some worms in there, weren't there? He then turned around to be faced by the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman was back on there. And then Pat Patterson came in, put his foot on him and got the belt. So Pat Patterson was 24/7 belt, 24/7 champion.
And there's a lot of people who won the 24/7 champion.
Yeah, there was during the night, and we'll try and get through them. Next, we had several commentators. I didn't mention before the Revival match, Booker T was a special guest commentator. During this next sequence, it was Christian. He was a special guest commentator. Lillian Garcia did the ring announcement, and it was the Viking Raiders versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Quick match, to be honest. The Viking Raiders got a real squash on Zack Ryder. And that was basically it, wasn't it? Next we had what we're calling Raw's Rubbish. It was Mike and Maria Kanellis backstage with Eva, I think it was Eva, and Eric Bischoff. Obviously Eric Bischoff is now on SmackDown, looking after SmackDown. Not much, she just had a go at him again. That was it. Next we went to a 24/7 sequence with Gerald Briscoe. He had the belt. He didn't see the pin, but he just had the belt. And then he ran into Kelly, who then rolled him up to become the first woman to get the 24/7 belt, which makes me wonder, why isn't Carmella gone from that belt on R-Truth? But, you know, it was what it was. Next, Samoa Joe came out for a promo. He sort of did a Paul Heyman rip-off, saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Samoa Joe." He proceeded then to do a promo that brought Roman Reigns out. Roman Reigns did a promo about sort of family, because Samoa Joe was sort of ripping on the reunion, saying it's a waste of time, and especially when the Usos doing a rap with Cena. Obviously Roman Reigns is there to the family, so he was saying about the family. They had them proceeded to have a little bit of a brawl. Samoa Joe went to sort of walk off. He did say about, you know, maybe we should have a match, but he backed out. He was going to walk away, but Roman Reigns called him a coward, and that sort of then set up the match, as it were. So we had Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns next. Roman Reigns won with the spear. Not much to that. Next, then we had Miz TV with Seth Rollins as his special guest. Then he got interrupted by Paul Heyman, who was backstage in the gorilla position, and then he came out, and that was kind of how it was. Next, it was Kelly with the belt, 24/7 belt. It was then joined by Candice, Naomi and Melina, who revealed that she'd been done her course and she was now a ref. And then we got a new champion with Candice, only then to be choked, I think it was choked out by Alundra Blaze, and she said that she wasn't going to be the champion very long. Next we had Jonathan Coachman come out in commentary, and he commentated for Rey Mysterio versus Sami Zayn. It looked like Sami Zayn wanted to leave during that match, only to be stopped by 4 returning legends. Who were they?
Sergeant Slaughter.
Yep.
Kurt Angle.
Yep.
RVD.
Yep.
I don't know who the last
The other one was the Hurricane, and then they sort of stopped him, and then we got a 619 and the sort of boom drop. I think it's called boom. It's not a boom drop, is it? Because that's Kofi's move, but it's sort of a top rope splash, as it were. And he got the win on Sami Zayn, kind of like that. Next we got a quick backstage sort of promo with the Street Profits. Not much to say, but I'm really impressed with them.
And Ray done the Rob Van Dam thing.
Yeah, he did. Did he? What, the RVD? Yeah, did he? I missed that bit. You must have seen that bit, and I didn't. Sandra Blaze then came out, and she goes to put the 24/7 belt in the bin, like she did on WCW with the women's title. Only for the $1 Million Man to come out, didn't he, and buy the belt off her. And so he was the new 24/7 champion, which I can't understand, but that is what it is. Next we had Jerry Lawler come out and do commentary for the club, which are now called the OC. It was AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Very bit complicated this, so let's hammer through the points. The OC went to interfere, only for
DX to come out.
Yep, DX in the form of Triple H and Shawn Michaels to come out.
I think Seth is gonna join DX.
Well, we don't know, do we? Maybe for that one night. Gallows pulled the leg of Seth Rollins. And, DX went into the ring to have a face-off with the OC. The OC did the Too Sweet, only for DX to do the Suck It. Sort of. I don't know.
And Seth said we got 2 words for him.
He did at the very end, yeah. I don't know what you call it. The Suck It gesture, I'm going to call it. Suck It gesture. They sort of had a little bit more. The OC went and got chairs, only for then the other sort of half of DX, Road Dogg, X-Pac, and a little bit of the NWO with Scott Hall and Nash came out as well, because obviously they're all in this little clique, and then they sort of basically backed down, and that was it. Next we had the $1 Million Man with the belt get into a limo. There was a bit of a kerfuffle in the limo, only for Drake Maverick to appear with that belt, and he is now the new champion. And then he was ran off by a load of jobbers. Next we had Mick Foley in the ring. And then during that section, the jobbers came out, and it looked like Foley wanted to get his hands on Drake Maverick, which I thought was quite funny. He was basically, the gist of his promo was that he was asked to think back to a memory. He did, only for the lights to go out, and then the lights come back on, and who was there?
Bray Wyatt the Fiend.
Yes, Bray Wyatt the Fiend.
And he got in the claw.
Hit the mandible claw, and then he disappeared. I think that's how they did that. Next moment of bliss, Becky Lynch was the guest. Natalia came out. They had a little bit of a promo back and forward. Natalia, yeah, I know it's really hot, isn't it? Natalia came out, and they had a bit of a brawl. That was all that is. And then the last sequence for the 24/7 belt, Drake Maverick was getting into the limo that Renee was in. His wife was in waiting for him, only to be rolled up by R-Truth. R-Truth got the pin. He jumped into the limo sped off with Renee, Drake Maverick's wife, only for Drake Maverick to say, he's took the love of my life, and then he realised, actually, he took my wife as well. So that was quite funny in how it done it. Next it was Braun Strowman versus Little Jobber, Randy Rowe I think it was. Quick match, he basically destroyed him, and then we get to the proper last bit. It wasn't really, it was kind of the main event, it kind of wasn't. We had Ric Flair come out to the promo. He was then joined by everyone of the legends on the stage. Hulk Hogan came out and done his sort of bog standard promo of what you gonna do, didn't he? And then he got in. I don't think he got interrupted. I think basically the glass break happened, and then Stone Cold came out down to the ring, did as usual, smashing the beers, did a bit of a promo about how, you know.
And he said Stone Cold said so.
Yep, and basically hyping up Raw and saying that Raw was great and that it was his family and all this, that and the other, and that was basically a toast to Raw with everyone in the ring, and that's how they went off. So that was a quick sift through Raw reunion.
Then Austin left the ring.
Yep, and that was it, and that's basically how they ended. So yeah, that was a lot to go through there. It was very complicated as well, but we got through it. So yeah, Raw was okay this week. Yeah, it was average, I suppose. I don't think it was brilliant. I don't think it was absolutely brilliant, like the best Raw I've ever seen. But it was good. It was a very good show. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there because we are really hot and we have to do the week that was WWE SmackDown. We have to get through that one as well, which shouldn't be as quick. Should be quite quick. So yeah, well, I think we'll leave it there. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, I'll put the link to our Patreon page if you're interested in that. And we'll see you in the week of WWE SmackDown. So I'll say goodbye and say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.